Okay, so it's nearly 5 on Tuesday. Tomorrow's payday. God, I can't wait. Always when it gets down to being payday. And then sometimes I get paid, and then it's like not the next week, but the next week. But this time it's like get paid this Wednesday and next Wednesday. So then all the money comes at the beginning, and then you have a couple of weeks to go at the top. It always ends up there's a couple of weeks at the end where it's just like, God, I can't wait till payday. Which I'm sure so many people are in the same position because we're all living paycheck to paycheck. And you still have these people just freaking out. Like, it is the weirdest thing. How do you not see what these people are doing is beneficial? How do you see them exposing criminals as being a bad thing? It's the weirdest thing. It's so weird. But, I mean, none of us who can see from that perspective can understand what perspective they're seeing, because they've obviously got their own perspective. They're all dug in hard on it. So they obviously are not seeing. So their reality is very different than our reality. It's just so weird. And yesterday, Wall Street didn't crash, but it kept plummeting. I think I heard, because I'd heard it was down like 450 points or something. And then, and then yesterday afternoon, it was down like 1,800 or something. So it keeps going down and down. And you have all these people on there talking about, talking about what's going on and what's going to happen and how it should happen and all this stuff. It's like, oh my God, what a fucking distraction. Seriously. Like, I don't know. To me, it's like, I feel like when I see stuff going on, it's always like, oh, good. And I don't pay that much attention after that. But they've got people just hanging on everything, single thing, stressing out, and going crazy, seriously. And so Donald was talking live with that guy from The Real yesterday. There was tons of stuff about that. I don't even know what they were talking about. All I know is that everything about the gold standard and BRICS and all that is a peace treaty, and that all the countries, in order to get their share, has to go on a peace treaty. But there's things that is prophecy and stuff, like The Real's going to go down because they really took land. They were the ones who were doing what they said was being done to them. Even though a lot of people who consider themselves blue aren't involved in it, just like all of us. They say colonizers. It's like, well, I didn't come and colonize anything. I just was born here. So it's the same kind of thing, that it was done way before them, and then they were fed a story, just like us. Oh yeah, what was that? It's so crazy too, because what a lie our history was, what a lie our reality was. And that's one thing too, when I go into conversations with my mom, even though we can talk about medical stuff or government stuff and kind of be on the same page about it, but then talk about what's really going on here. It's like goes two different directions, but also on the hidden history and all the lies told to us. It's like, like the moon landing happened. I watched it on TV. The shuttle really blew up. I watched it on TV. The towers were really hit by a plane. I watched it on TV. That is a consensus by so many people. And I've told her, I said, yeah, but the TV is making shit up. It's given AI. It's not. And that is what people even paying attention on this last little rescue mission. And they were like, these are AI stuff. They even went so far as to go and have it tested and said that whole water landing and all that stuff was AI. And there's so much AI out there. I swear to God, I can't believe on TikTok you've got robot video people talking to you all the time. And the thing that I notice is they kind of talk weird. They kind of force their words or something. It's just kind of weird. They definitely don't act natural. And even if they try and make an expression or something, I don't know. But they're out there all over the place talking about shit. And they're not real people. So, And there's lots of stuff to direct us and mislead us. Who was that? Oh, yeah, somebody I just saw was talking about all these videos that are kind of misleading, or getting you to focus on something else, that they get hundreds of thousands of views. I've been saying this for so long, and those of us that are trying to talk sanity, it's like, keep them in the closet. And like yesterday, I said these 2 little videos. They were so little, and it just, I don't remember what hit me about it, but it was, I said, you'll never receive the love that you want until you give it to yourself. That little video. Those little, 7-second videos or something are the ones that like will go viral because the people can see them. So people see them all the time. Well, not when they hold them. Nobody gets to see them. And every time I do those really short ones like that, they always hold them. Always. And then I did another one, and I said, whatever it is you want in life, you won't get it until you give it. And that one was held too. And I was kind of thinking that one was going to get like, what are you talking about? If I want this and I want that. Well, say you want to have more money, and you, you just want more money or whatever. Well, if you're holding on to it, like this is all you've got, then it's like a different kind of energy. When you are pouring out, and then the energy comes back to you. So even if you don't have a lot, it's just sharing what you have and giving giving with your pure heart. Not like, well, you owe me. Yeah, I got $20 and I'll give you 10, but you owe me, man. That kind of energy, you're going to get what you're putting out. Like whatever you're putting out, you're going to get back. So if you're giving freely, the universe is going to just return the favor. And it's kind of like tithing to the universe. It's like you're a part of the giving, but you don't want to just run around like making the decision of who needs what. And because then you're feeding your own ego. It's, my nose is running. I might have to use my sweater. I was like, man, my nose hasn't been running at all. But, of course. Oh, God. And I've got nothing sitting here. I thought sometimes I have a handkerchief or something in my pockets of my robe, but anyways, I have my handy dandy sweater. It can get washed. Just stick it in the wash. So, anyways, but it has been so much more clear, but then it has been raining like a bitch here. What was the other thing too that I was feeling like, because I keep feeling like, I swear to God, something got improved by that big dose of that stuff. I can't believe how, I don't know, I just feel really good. Like I feel fine. And like my joints aren't even hurt. Like, I don't know. There was a lot of stuff. And I get it very well, that I was having the mold sickness, which, oh yeah, this is interesting, I guess, because so many people are having brain fog, early onset dementia, and all this stuff. So, and what do I always say? It's goddamn poison. And, but like I said, give people a bunch of different labels, confuse them, and then they don't sit there and think, oh my God, this poison's making me sick. So they think, oh, I've got this sickness, or I got that sickness. So it's all so misleading. And so anyways, my aunt, she has gone through the CHEMO, and that also adds in some sense of brain fog or memory loss or something. Something's going on with that stuff too. Which still, it could still be the other stuff, but everybody's like, well, it must be this, it must be that. But it could just be all of the stuff that you're breathing in is just, that's how toxic it is. It's eating away at your brain, it's destroying it and stuff. And so anyways, my aunt is having this forgetfulness, and my mom talks to her all the time, and she asks the same questions over and over. which I can relate. That was one of the things where my kids started noticing something was wrong with me, because it was like you could talk to me about something, and then I would do something, and I would turn around and ask the same thing over and over and over. They come home and tell me something about school, and then I would just ask them again and again and again, like, oh, so what happened in school today? And then, gosh dang it, my nose, hold on. And I'm not taking this off right now because I have a tank top on. Well, I guess I could switch it, put my robe on, and just use my tissue. Here's my tissue. So anyways, so she has been being really concerned about my aunt and thinking, you know, she's got the CHEMO brain, or she's got the dementia, or something's going on. And so she talked to her daughter yesterday, and she said, no, she's already been, she doesn't have that. She didn't have dementia. She doesn't have Alzheimer's. And I know when they were testing me, it was some sort of sugar test. It's some kind of thing, and they put it in your blood, and they take an x-ray or MRI or something of your head, and it is how the sugar goes through. That shows if you got Alzheimer's or dementia or something. So that test is like kind of easy, but I had one of those whole long testing things, and I think they're trying to set her up with that or something. But also, she doesn't have a healthy lifestyle. She doesn't sleep right. She stays up all night watching TV. My mom thought she just sat in this chair all the time. She sleeps in the chair, everything. And then she tells the doctors, oh yeah, I go lay down, I go get a nice sleep. But she's not doing that. And her daughter said that but she does get up and go out on her patio and work about. Like, she's got a whole bunch of stuff, but she's doing weird stuff like, you know, spending a couple $1,000s on artificial flowers and stuff. So, you know, like, so she's very concerned, and she's trying to get her to, they want to figure out what's going on. And, but she is getting some exercises by piddling around on her thing and decorating with all of her stuff. She's got lots of decorations. She used to have a store, like a gift store, and her house was always like, you walked into her house, it was like walking into a fucking gift store. It was like walking into it was cool. She's always been really good with decorating and had really cool stuff. And I remember back when I was younger, it was like you went to her house, and she was divorced for a long time, and her house was like, oh my gosh, it was like a pink and white palace or something. It was real girly and real soft. It was kind of like, what was that? It was a style that was called that for a while. It was kind of like, it was white and dried roses and lace and stuff. Like, her house was like that. It was really cool. And so now her patio, I guess, is very, and so she takes, she lives in Texas, and the storms and stuff, so she goes out, takes everything out of the patio, puts it in the house, and then every time the storm's over, she brings it out. So she's got this whole thing going, which takes hours and hours and hours, apparently, to set it all back up. And so she's doing that. It's not like she's just sitting and letting her shit go to shit, you know. She's doing stuff, but she's just being super forgetful. So my mom's taking the patches and going to see what that does. So hopefully, and she's also taking horse paste. I was thinking she was taking her some, but I don't know. Maybe she's not taking any of that, because my brother's on it, and through the medical. So who knows what kind of dosage. And because, you know, their winner is the CHEMO, and that's what's going to take, whatever happens, it's going to be well. And and if it goes south, then it would be blamed on the horse paste. Well, you know, probably the horse paste is what did it in. You know, we tried with our miracle medicine, you know, but it's like, oh my God, I'm so fucking sick of this shit, man. Then, so anyways, I was like, man, there's so many people that is having this brain fog, and young people, and where it's just like, what is this? The people are, and I wonder too if it doesn't have something to do with how lost people seem, you know. I just saw, oh my gosh, I just saw this video. You know, with the trees falling and all this shit. This was scary. Amy sent it to me this morning. This person was like at a stop sign or something, which was kind of weird because the car right in front of them looked exactly like their car. And so I don't know if they were together, if they were like, because they seemed to know each other. But so the one car pulls up and stops, and so the next car pulls up behind him. And that car had just left the space where this one was. So it's on this street, you got all these trees lined here, and then you're sitting here, you know, and this car moves up, so you move up. And right when this car moved up, this tree just fell, a huge motherfucking tree just fell and crashed down on their car right across the back seat. But it had to have hit on the roof and pulled down, and she had some stuff in it because she jumps out of the car, goes up to the next car, and they're both standing out there, and you can see on this camera, whatever it is. But the miracles, you know, like if you're meant to go, well, it would have been a little bit over. It would have been just like square ass. If you're not meant to go, you're meant to have a miracle. You're meant to experience what is a miracle. It's a part of your awakening and stuff. Then you're gonna, anything can happen. There's no like a near miss is really just a wake up call. It's just trying to get you to tune in or something. And then people all like, oh man, I can't believe that was so close and stuff. Like, they just look at it weird instead of looking at it deeper. But I think at this time on the planet, there's way more depth. There's way more people looking at things deeper. Not so, you know, people are starting to see like, but they're still not, I don't think they're still not there at this like supernatural world, which I keep on thinking, man, is this sky going to open up? What is going to happen? I wish it would fucking hurry. I wish the banks would hurry and crash. I wish the sky would hurry and open. I wish something. It's like, I can't even believe how, my nose is just still like running. I can't believe how this just drags and drags, man. It's just like, oh my God, it just feels like I swear to God, when I go walk Stella, I'm always like, well, we're just gonna go at our sloth pace. That's why I feel like everything, like we're just going at this sloth pace at this point. We're just moving very slowly, and then we can't get mad. Like a lot of the people are like emotionally crippled. They're like all on walkers and in wheelchairs or something. We have a really broken society. Fuck, man. One thing, okay, this is something that so this is going to be talking about somebody else's business, but it's like, I think that we need to talk about this. At least look at it. At least think about it. You know, look at it full range or something. And I don't even know. Maybe I'm not looking at it full range. Maybe there's more to it that I'm missing. So, Stell, you can come out here, girl. Okay? I'm doing my work. You can come out here. And so, when you are a grown-ass adult and you have a child dying, but they're no longer a child, they are a grown-ass adult. I don't know. I guess we all have our own expectations. We all have our own expectations of what our moms should do, what our dads should do. And it's kind of weird is because through our expectation, they fail us. So we expect or think that this is what a good person would do. This is what a good mom would do. This is what she should do or whatever. And then, so we feel like we're being failed because they aren't living up to our expectation when we don't realize like we're being judgmental. We're not giving them space to be themselves, and we don't know what's in their truth and their heart, and we're judging them because they don't live up to what we think that they need to do. That is control. That is manipulative. That is judgmental. Like, we got to start looking at ourselves. Nothing changes until we start looking at ourselves and allow everyone to go through their experience. People want to control other people through their experiences. And it's like, you can't, that is you. That's a you problem. And then anybody who feels like, I don't want to be controlled and puts up boundaries is, you know, people look at them like they are so toxic or something, but it's like, it's the other way around. You have got to recognize when people are trying to force you, manipulate you, make you feel like you're not a good person and stuff if you don't do what they think you should do. It's like, if that's what you think should happen, then you do it when it's your role. You do it for you. But don't tell other people what to do. Don't tell other people how to live. Don't tell other people how to handle their pain or the loss or anything like that. That's just not cool, man. And so my mom was being bombarded, and I could see it coming, man. I could see it coming. I don't know, just like I said, there's just something, when I look at things, I just see beyond what other people see. I don't know how it works. I don't have a clue. And I've just lived like this my whole life. And like I said before, I thought we all were. I had no idea that it was not everybody living that way. But it confused me, because I would be like, why are they doing that? Why are they saying, like, I would always be like, what? And then I would always be the weirdo. Okay, weirdo. And to the point where it just is like, okay, everybody looks at me like I'm crazy weirdo. I'm just like, whatever. But this thing, you know, this loss with my brother, or the perspective, or the potential loss of my brother, is then that looking into that and seeing, all I could see was like these roles and people filling their own needs through their roles, through the things that happen. Like, I could just see this stuff, just like, man, it was years and years ago through this. and I was doing this already, because I said, oh my God, it's like you can see through people. You can see, like, if they're trying to, you can just see. It's like that people can't do the same stuff to you before, because you just see through it. And so that was a few years ago. But then when this stuff started happening, it was like, oh my gosh, everybody's dark side showing. Like, everybody's pain and suffering, everybody's weakness, everybody's, what they're trying to get from other people is showing. And then, since they don't know, and that's just kind of our way of being, then it's accepted. It's like we accept manipulative relationships. We accept people. And then a lot of times, like, because I almost said degrading, and then, there was a flip side, and then it is like, but the thing is we don't stand up to the people we should. We go run to the people who we know will listen to us, and we whine and cry about what's happening, instead of standing up and saying, hey, don't talk to me that way. Don't treat me that way. When you stop being judgmental of me, we'll talk about it. But don't tell me what to do or how to live. And this is my time. This is my window of time. This is my experience. And you have to know that, claim it, know your value, know what they're trying to take from you. This is your moment in time. This is your life. This is your life experience. This is you getting to come in and experience yourself and experience all these different relationships. And then all these people, they think their experience is going to be better if you do this, if you do that. It's like, no, I'm living my experience. If you got issues, you need to figure those out. It's not up to me to make things better for you. It's up to you. And just like I said, you're not going to get the love you want until you give it to yourself. If you can't learn how to give yourself love, you're going to be out there looking and looking and looking. And you're going to be disappointed every time. You got to learn how to care for yourself, love yourself, give yourself what you need. And that brings that energy, because you're putting that into yourself, so it brings it towards you. Even though, it's like, oh, yeah, Kelly, okay, where's yours? It's like, it's coming, I'm telling you. Like, I just know it's coming. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know that this connection that my soul has, it feels, it's going to come. I mean, it's just been shown to me and shown to me and shown to me. So I don't know when, how, or what events lead to it or whatever. I just know that it's coming, and I know that it is important. This is partly why for so long I said there's so many things that aren't going to make sense what I say until it gets to the other part. Because it's like, okay, yeah, you can sit there and say you're a good manifestor, you're living in a garage in a tent, chick. It's like, that is a part of it. It's a part of it. It's a part of your journey. It's a part of where you're going. The path isn't, lined with daisies. The path is lined with experience to strengthen you, to get you to the point of what it is you want, where it is you're going. And so it's a development. It's a participation. It's a path in life. And because lots of people choose the path of being the victim. It takes a lot to move towards a path of like value yourself and be strong, and don't be, to get out of the games, to get out of the bullshit. So it's a direction, it's a path, it's a vibration, it's a choice, Just like, to me, I remember when they started saying alcoholism is a disease. And even there was one thing that I had really liked, I had heard somebody say, was when you're dealing with an alcoholic, I mean, would you go up to somebody in a wheelchair and keep telling them, get out of the wheelchair? But with an alcoholic, they would keep telling them to stop drinking and stuff. But now, and I used to be like, yeah, but now I look at it different. People can help it. People can make choices. People can fight against their impulses and their the drive. Like the what is that called? Like a lingering, like a when somebody is craving. So fighting against their own cravings, like their body's telling them they want to drink, and their emotions are telling them, shut this off. This is too much. They don't want to think about things. They don't want to feel things. They just want to turn it all off. And so they choose to drink. And then even when they know things are going to go south, they still choose to drink. And so there's choices involved in all of the different things. Like, you can heal these things. Even if they tell you and you had it suck, go, well, I'm an alcoholic. There's nothing you can do about it. It's a disease. I'm stuck. I'm an alcoholic. See, that's their label. Keep you stuck. But you have to know your own value. You have to know your own worth. You have to know your own power. And you have to know that you deserve to live an experience without having that crutch, without having, because it is, it's more destructive to you. It's not making you stronger. It's making you weaker. It makes you not be able to deal with things. So the more that you deal with things, the more stronger you're going to become. The people who run from dealing with everything, and these ones, like the love and light people, as soon as shit started going down, they were like, bury your head in the sand. Don't pay attention. If you pay attention to things you don't like, you're low vibration. It's like, that's not what low vibration is. It's like looking at the dark, seeing the dark is not low vibration. It's low vibration to ignore it, to hide your head and to pretend like everything's okay. That's lower vibration. So anyways, they were misdirecting from the start. So many people, just decided to start ignoring things. Well, you're not growing by ignoring things. You grow by facing things. By allowing yourself to experience, by allowing yourself to, it's kind of like take out the garbage. It's like clean up your place, take out the garbage. You got to go through that. You got to witness yourself. You got to experience yourself. You got to go through different experiences with different people. And so that to me is your value of your experience. And when people cut themselves off from it, like, and just spend their time being drugged up or drunk or whatever, then that's their life review. That's where they get to see. And it's not like anybody, you can't do the wrong experience. You can be disappointed with yourself when you see your choices and you go over there and you look at it and you're like, dang, man, I feel like I could have quit drinking and I just kept doing it. And look at this. And look how I affected people and stuff. And see, then you have this drive of like wanting to fix it. And that to me is this karmic thing. You want to fix it. You want to fix things. And then you don't have the same ability because you're not there anymore. Now you got to fix it by going to your grandkids and whispering in their ears to try and direct them in a more positive way. And a lot of people set patterns, and then when they get over there and they see like, man, I taught my kids the same thing. Like, every time there was a problem, I ran and drank, and now look at my kids, they're doing it. And then you get to witness that as the other being and see how you affected the whole lineage, the whole thing. And then it's a burden. That's why I say, like, the karmic stuff. And then it's up to you to change the stuff. Like, some of us, like, where they keep saying all these people have come in to break patterns and ancestral bond, all this stuff, you know, that they keep saying that there's people doing. All I know is you're doing healing, but it very well could be that we are in our own lineage and we're coming back through to try and fix the things that we threw out of whack a long time ago. I mean, it's simple stuff too. Like, a mom can throw stuff out of whack with her daughters just by not having good boundaries, not being able to stand up for herself, and it can go in different directions. They can start looking at women as weak and become really strong in their masculine, or it brings out judgment and stuff, or it turns the daughters into passive, you know, where they're getting screwed over all the time. It's so much more important for you to teach your kids to have good boundaries and to know their value when they come in and talking about something. Find out how they feel about it. What do they want to do about it? Not what you think that they should do. We gotta turn the tables. We gotta turn the narrative, the script. The script needs to be rewritten. And so, but on the thing with my mom, it's just like, I can't believe how all these people start telling somebody what they need to do. And there's so many people, this is what blows my mind, is that these people all think like, well, if you've got a kid dying, you need to go drop everything. You leave your life behind. Your life doesn't matter. You head over there and you stay there with that person until they're gone. And you do everything you can. It's like, I don't know. To me, that kind of feels like guilt. Feels like, well, I wasn't there for them when they're a kid, so now I've got to come over here and make up for it before they die. So I feel like there's guilt in going in that scenario. And then which, you know, to me, it's like, you're talking about a grown-ass man, a grandpa. You're talking about a goddamn grandpa who is happily married. I mean, he's got a wife that loves him. He's got 5 kids. He's got 8 to 10 grandkids. He's got, you know, a big family. And they live in Texas. And it's not like, you know, it's not like my mom could zip over there every day, you know, to check on him or anything. No, she's got to go and fly. And even her flying, like, she's one of those people who has to have them take her in the wheelchair and shit to the plane. And she can't see, she can't do all this stuff. So anyways, you know, it's not like some easy peasy thing. But then all these people being so judgmental, she needs to drop everything, just come over there and just stay. Which, you know, her and I are hoping that there's something, you know, like the patches do something, like maybe this horse pace. Like, I mean, everybody's got him, you know, buried, and it's like, you know, some of us still have hope that things are going to turn around. And then plus, you know, it's like, we just need it to make it a little more, because these med beds are going to be coming at some point. There is word on the street, which we get these fucking dates all the motherfucking time, so don't get all like, okay, well, if it doesn't happen by that time, it's over, is the 20th, which is Easter, which is, there's people in there fretting about it or something, that we're going into martial law and all this stuff. So, you know, who knows? So we still have so much stuff that can go down. And this person I saw talking about it was like, that's 13 days until, you know, they were freaking out, because there's so many of these people that think, you know, Donald's a dictator. So I don't know what's going to go down. But things are going to go down, and they're going to get better. Like, there's an ad for Kawasaki, their new motorcycle. It's a robot horse, and it can walk you around in things that you can't get around on a motorcycle. And I went up and I showed my mom, and I said, I told you the technology was going to be crazy. The technology is going to be changing, and it's coming. It's starting to ripple out there. There's old Archibald. So it's starting to make moves, you know, things are moving, even though it's like slow, but it can't go too fast, so these people couldn't handle it. And But for these people to be saying, you know, like what she needs to do to be a good person, she even has somebody who they did. Their son was dying, and then they went and stayed with him until whenever. And then even when they left, they took him with them and let him stay at their house until he died. It was like, well, that's totally. Can you imagine a mom stepping in to somebody who is a grandparent, like his grandkid? This is his time for his family. Like he's got people on his daily. This is their time. You know, this is their time to say goodbyes. This is their time, you know. Those of us who are not in somebody's daily life, how do we just intrude and come in? It, to me, is like just screaming guilt all over the place. And to me, it's like, even to be as a parent and step in on the wife's toes and be like, you know, I'm here to take care of him. I'm his mother. I know what to do now. I'll do it. And it's like, you've got a woman who loves her husband, doesn't want to lose him, and she's taking care of him and doing all the stuff. She just wants, you know, to be noticed for, you know, what she's doing. And then instead just come in and stomp all over her and say, you're not doing good enough. I'll take over from here. This is my kid. It's like, you know, you've got to let go of that idea when your kid is younger. I even told my mom, I said, well, that seems ridiculous. I said, my brother hasn't needed you since he was a kid. Like, he left home a long time ago. He hasn't needed his mom in a long time. And she's like, yeah, when he was 16 was the last time. And I'm like, yeah, if it was me and I was sick and dying and all of a sudden you showed up and started trying to take over and I'm trying to spend time with my grandkids and stuff, I'd be irritated. I'd be like, you know, but that's the thing, is like, it's so strange, and it's so strange how all these people are trying to make her feel bad. It's like, well, I don't see that. I think we need to stop and think things through more. It makes sense. Yeah, this one woman, her 50-year-old husband, or her 50-year-old son, was married to somebody who their relationship was broken, even though they had stayed together. That wife wasn't doing shit. She didn't want anything to do with him. He was a burden, and he was sick and dying, and she didn't want to deal with it. So yeah, that makes sense, you know. It makes sense if your kid doesn't have a spouse, if your kid doesn't have, you know, I mean, you can't even say a spouse, because some people just live together. Some people have relationships, but if they have a partner, then that is rude to come and step through and say, hey, I'm here to save the day. You're not doing it right. It's just like, I don't know. It just seems so weird, and it seems so competitive to me, and competitive over time and space and stuff. Because to me, you know, I don't know. I lost my grandpa, and it was like sudden. It wasn't where we got time to spend with him ahead of time. And I was like 7 or 8 years old or whatever. I might have been 10. I don't know. I think I was 7. I don't remember. But I was little, and it devastated me. I loved, that was my first big loss. I loved him. I thought he was the greatest thing in the whole wide world. And he's one of my guides. I mean, he's somebody who's with me all the time. So he never left me, but I didn't know that for a long time. But I always had such deep love for him, even though, you know, he had left me a long time ago. But then once I started seeing when past lives started coming into my head, then I started seeing, oh, he's, you know, he's like been my dad. He's been, you know, it's like you have souls that you have been really close with through different experiences. So even though that they are gone, and then you feel like, for me, it was like he left early. For me, I mean, he was only 65, which my mom just told me too, that he was even in a band when he was younger, and he played the sax or something. I was like, so crazy, because there's all these people, you know, that we never really got to know them on that certain level. And another thing she told me that I thought was just the cutest thing is that my grandma, who ended up being his wife, she was one of those operators back in the day before cell phones and whatnot. An operator, like all the operators, they would go into a building and they would sit, they would answer. So you would pick up your phone and you would Because even in the old movies, you pick up the phone, and I remember dialing operator a lot when I was younger, and you could ask them things, and they could connect you to your call. They could look up numbers for you and stuff like that. And so, the operator was a thing. Like, if you see it in old movies, like, that was the thing, that you had to go through the operator to make calls. And so, and she would connect you. And it's weird, too. It's like, so weird how they just connect you. Just like people saying, isn't that weird how our messages travel through this hidden thing, you know, our text, our phone calls? How is it that we make these direct connections and stuff through this atmosphere? It is kind of weird. But so, yeah, she was one of those ladies who would sit there and say, who are you calling? Can I make your call? What do you do? So my grandpa was trying to make a call, and he liked her voice. And so we started talking to her. So they met up and ended up being married. But that's all they met, was him making a call and him liking her voice and then wanting to get to know her. So they ended up being married and stuff. And then he was in this, playing in the band and stuff. And then he was where I thought he was a farmer. And and my mom also said, from the stuff that she remembers, that she believed that they were German, living in Russia, or there was some kind of German town in Russia or something. I don't know. Because then I've been told, because there was people in my family who did the heritage things too, but or the ancestral line things. But then there's also, it's real easy apparently to follow the wrong line, that the names and stuff, that some names were common at certain times. It's easy to get off track. So I don't know. I was told that they were from the Ukraine, like they were escaping from something. So they were escaping from something, because then they came over to America, which there was a lot of cleansing and stuff going on back in those days too. So, you know, I don't know that, because to me, there's so many weird things too about our dates and stuff. Like, they have these fancy buildings being built at the same time as people are trying to make these rudimentary log cabins and shit. Like, there's inconsistencies. There's people living one way, but then there's people out fighting Indians and stuff. Like, there's so much shit that has been lies to us. I saw this picture yesterday, and it was all of these people that you would think were Oriental, only they were all black. So all black Oriental looking people, which that is what I've been saying for a long time, is like, I think like the Aborigines, it goes way back to like the original people. Like, I don't think they were settlers or colonizers of this place. I think they were that lineage, that lineage goes back to the original people. I think that's what is the closest to me. And so in this, they said that in China there's a whole bunch of hidden history and hidden pictures and stuff. And so, but that is more of what the original people, I think, look like, was kind of dark skinned, but kind of Oriental looking. And so it's so weird, because they told us to say Asian so much, but that makes no sense. And the Oriental people want to be called Oriental because they're from the Orient, and Asia includes Middle Eastern people. So when you're saying someone's Asian, well, how can you say this guy is Asian when he's Middle Eastern? It's like, it doesn't make any sense. So how can we say, you know, if you're from Asia, you're Asian? Because then they put this concept of the Asian person is Oriental person. I don't know. It's just absurd. Like, they've got us sitting there and we just follow along. Well, this is what we're supposed to say. This is what we're supposed to do. This is what we're supposed to say. And we just say this stuff because we don't want anybody to think we're, you know, racist or whatever, which is so crazy too, because this concept of, you know, somebody calling you racist or something has kind of really led in this direction, because it is like they were pushing and pushing and pushing. This is something I saw when I started waking up off of the government stuff, because I was a liberal Democrat since I was first started voting. I thought that was the people, that was the group for the people. I always thought the Republican Party was more for the corporation. It was more for big business, and it was more for rich people. So I always looked at the Democrat Party as the party of the people, the party that was here to protect us and stuff. And so then you start seeing through the bullshit. And but when I did start seeing through the bullshit, but it had to do with Donald, is and he's his own party. They can call him Republican or whatever, but he's his own movement. And all this movement was part of it. It's like the universal, like it is the hand of God. So it is the movement towards freedom. It's the movement towards the new age and stuff. So his party to me is a movement. This MAGA is the movement towards love and unity, towards the awakening and stuff like that. But when I very first started seeing it, and what I started noticing was people attacking Republicans all the time. At first it was on Twitter that I saw it, and then it was Nextdoor and stuff, and where all these I've gotten kicked off of because, you can't stand up for what's right. And so I noticed that the people were being attacked and shit. And so I would go in and say something like I was going to rescue I was going to stand in front of the bullies and stuff, because it seemed like that the Republicans were just so beat down. And it was like somebody would just go in on them and they would just go quiet and just be like, and back off. And then I started saying, well, they're telling them all they're deplorable, they're racist and stuff. So each individual felt, like something was wrong with that, like they were the bad guy or something. And but they didn't feel like they were the bad guy, but it was just like hopeless. It's like, what am I gonna? They're just gonna keep telling me I'm racist. It's like that person the other day got so fucking pissed because they were trying to be like, this person's more important, this person, the trans are more important, like whatever. And the person she was talking to kept saying, everybody's equal, we're all equal. And she was getting so fucking pissed about it. I was like, what? That was something I couldn't believe when I started saying it, because that was the they even started that whole thing with the BLM, yeah, certain lives matter more than other lives. And I was like, no, that you can't say one life matters more than another. They're all equal. Everybody matters just as much as everybody else, which is what you would think that group would be all about, equality, but no. It's like, no, we want a hierarchy here. These people matter more. These people are sucky. And we come down from here from the sucky group, but we're trying hard to it was weird, man. And so, and then when I started standing up for people and started saying, is I would see somebody just being just slammed, and I would say, no, that's right, and you're wrong, and this is the information, and then they just go in on me. But that's when I started seeing the script that they would follow. Because immediately they would tell me, go back to church, go turn on your Fox and stuff like that. It's like, I don't go to church, I'm not a Christian, and I do not watch Fox. So you got a bunch of no-hitters here, buddy. Nothing you're saying is working. And I would try and tell them, and sometimes they would even laugh at you like you're just making it up. I'm like, yeah, you do. It's like that's how stuck they were. They just generalize. They can't see individuals. They just see general perspectives and generalization. But the people wrote it. It's like they wrote it that, feeling bad about themselves. And I feel like a part of this thing is where he was doing all these rallies and stuff to try and get people to realize, like, no, you are the majority. You're the majority. The minority is the loudest, and the majority feels shame or something, like, like they're wrong because the other people attack, but calling them racist and all that stuff. But it's through the media too. And so it feels very much like things are out of balance. Like, you are the minority when you're really the majority. But that all is, flipping too. So people are starting to see, wait a minute, we're not the minority, we're the majority. What's wrong with these people? And why do we feel embarrassed? Why do we feel shame? So people are starting to stand in their own truth and starting to stand up and be like, yeah, I'm a Republican. Yeah, I voted for him and stuff. Where people used to be like, would hide that. Now people are being like, standing and not feeling like it doesn't matter. Call me a racist, call me whatever, because people, it's flipping. But it's slowly flipping, but it is flipping. And there's something else coming into my mind what I was saying, though. Let me think about it. I can see what it was. The energy is going to be just flipping and making people see more. And it is to build your own strength and your own character. And to stand in your own truth is just so important. Is standing in your own truth, being real, but you got to have boundaries. And there's like a lot of fighting comes from, people don't, because really, why, if somebody says something to you, you don't have to fight back with them. You can just drop it. It's like we start trying to feel like defensive, like we got to convince them of our side so that we don't look like the bad guy. It's like, no, you don't. You don't have to convince anybody of anything. You are allowed to believe what you want to believe. You're allowed to think the way you want to think. And you're the one who's got to carry your consequences. You're the one who's going to be facing yourself. You're the one you're not going to have any of these other people at your life review. It's you. It's you, facing what you've done, what you've said. And that's one thing that I told my mom too, because I've been telling her as this week is building up, is, you're going to be in it. Boy, when you get over there's going to be all these people going through all these emotions, and all these people are not healed, and they are going to, it's going to be very intense, and you are going to have good boundaries. And I said, if people come at you and start saying things, and it starts making you feel defensive or rejected or whatever it is, because she's feeling judged right now for sure, is don't fire back. That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to argue back, because that's the part that you carry forward. That's the part where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. That's the part that is the hardest parts to get over. Your guilt and shame over the things that you do and say. So that's like not doing yourself a service to go in and do these battles, because you're going to carry the war wounds of yourself, your own attitude. But, if that's what you do, then that's what you need to heal. But if you have an ability to monitor yourself and be aware of yourself, then you can, control those kinds of things, like when somebody triggers you, you don't have to just automatically just fire back and go into this battle. You can just sit back and realize, like, wow, they're really judgmental. They really look down on me. They really think, just let it be. Go in and process. And so I kept telling her, just, take time to yourself. You're going to have to recognize when you're feeling pulled and stuff. And you're going to be like, it's almost like she's going there to just be pulled apart by everybody or something. It's like, it's crazy. And hopefully it's going to, be really good. But I feel like it's going to be, I don't think there's a lot going on in the world right now that's not stressful. When you have things coming up, it's to really pull out some deep shit. So, yeah, I think she's going to really go through some cleansing or something while she's there. And yesterday she said, well, if I do get there and he is like going really bad, then if I extend it, and I was like, yeah, it's fine. You can, if you have to stay till he passes, then, she's got to get there and see what's going on. I keep hoping that whatever he's being infused with is doing something positive. But, I don't know the storyline. I don't know what he's here to experience and what everybody's here to experience. It's just like you're watching the experience play out. We're watching a movie all the time. Everything is like watching a movie. And it is, it's playing out. And so you don't know ahead so much of, like I can see through different parts of things, but that doesn't mean I can see, like, if my brother's gonna live or die. I don't know. And I gotta find my own peace with that. And to me, my peace comes from, I had a great relationship with him. And through our whole, until 2020, until, you know, everybody got real scared of sickness and I started saying it's not real, and people started, you know, laughing at me, turning against, you know, like I've been saying weird shit my whole life. So it just, you know, I'm the weirdo sister, I'm the weird one. And so to me it is, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. I can't control it. And I don't feel like I feel like when I can see through all this stuff, I don't know. If I was meant to be going there, things would be falling into place to take me there. But it's like things that I'm seeing and stuff, it's a lot of like, you know, I mean, it's not real. He's not really dying. He's really just leaving the game, if he leaves. And if he doesn't, then we get this really cool, you know, turnabout, like a really cool, like, wow, he's going this, like, there's going to be a lot of that. You just don't know, you know, when it's coming and how everybody's lives play into it. But there's going to be a lot of, like, it was this and suddenly it was that. And so there's going to be a lot of people who seem like they're on their deathbed, but suddenly it's like, boom, just like all of a sudden they just bring out their Kawasaki horse motorcycle, which is just a robot. It doesn't have a head. It doesn't look like a horse. It's got legs, and it doesn't run on gas. It runs on hydrogen or something. And so it has legs and it walks, but it can do all of this crazy, you know, walking up mountains and shit. And so I haven't even seen, like, if it goes and it gallops, like, get you where you want to go. Because I know also we're going to have hover cars, but maybe like these horse robot things is to go out and explore or something. I don't know. And oh yeah, because there's way more people. Like, as people wake up, their motivation is constantly to get out of town, to go out and get property. Everybody just wants to go out and be independent and get some property, grow their own food, take care of themselves, build community, be around people that think like them. And that's like the motivation that drives the awakening. And that's where you can see where we're all headed. That's why I say we're headed towards this building littler towns, and we're headed out of this, you know, sardine can of a city life. Everybody's in the city fighting for resources, fighting for jobs and the shit. And they're driving up the prices. But it's what we want. We want to live like this. We want this fancy apartment. We want this shit. And that's what's all going to fall apart. And we're going to see who was driving it, what was driving it. And it was all manipulated. And that is going to be such a big part of the crash on the housing market. I think that people are really going to, it's going to really sink in when they see, like, you know, $650,000 for this house that now is worth $12,000. It's going to be like, whoa, what the fuck? And I don't know if it's going to go that extreme. It may go to where it's $50,000, but I believe it's going to go to where we can buy a house and not have to be paying for it for 30 years and then have the government say, well, you got to pay us to have that house now, or we're going to take your house from you. All that shit is going away. All this nonsense and fucking giving us licenses and insurance and all these restrictions and all this bullshit, that's all going. And it seems like it's going from our own outrage, our own anger and stuff. It's kind of weird because right now there's a whole bunch of disasters going. And so I keep seeing these videos, well, everybody's going to be turning into insurance now. It's like, but this is what's like, it's the weirdest thing is like, do the people in one disaster not pay attention to all the other disasters? Does like people not realize like there's millions of people's houses that are being lost? And to me, it seems like there's all this loss because we had to process through what we're holding on to and the superficial aspects of what we'll do to hold on to something that's not real. So we have all of this learning to go and this letting go, and because there's places and things that we're holding on to. Like there's people in places that there's ancestral ties to and stuff. So it's a process of letting go of these different things. And then the what is it? So the letting go of the money thing. So letting go of the stuff is a part of the like the spiritual aspect of things going on, and to me it is like then when the money thing switches, that is going to be where people start getting money and getting more of a structure of where to go and stuff. So there's going to be changes. We're not going to keep trying to live in these cities and stuff. There may be some cities that are still populated, but I bet you it just gets more and more ghost towny, more and more people moving out of the cities, especially when something with the jobs, because there will be, because we're going to be doing this industrial thing, but see, everything is such a fine line, because if they just go at it right away with AI, then people are going to be like, well, we still have a job. So they got to do this thing of like, we're giving you jobs, we're giving you livelihood, we're giving you opportunities. And then through the awakening thing where people then want independent, I don't want to work all the time. What am I doing? Then AI, I guess, will come in and start doing it. I don't know that they're going to just open all these places and automatically have it all robotic, because then it would be like people would feel shunned. Like now they got robots doing jobs and we're sitting over here starving. So however they got to put these pieces together, it is, and it's slow, but there's going to be some big jumps. But when the jumps happen, it's like really throws people. So there's going to be some, but by the time the money starts being back introduced, it's going to be enough money for people to get places. It's not going to be like, places are not going to be as expensive as they are now. And, that's just the way it is. I mean, it's kind of ludicrous to think like, well, no, we don't want that to happen because these people have spent $650,000. Well, guess what? You don't have to pay the $650,000 for your house anymore. You're going to be done paying for it. Whatever you paid, that's it. So you got to put it in perspective too. And so there's going to be a lot of changes, but people don't look at it deeper. They don't look at it more thoroughly or something. They just look at the things that bother them. Like, I paid that much and now it's not worth anything. And I bet there's going to be so many people that are going to be just walking away from places too. I mean, some of these $650,000 houses are built on a mildewed foundation. They're just molding inside, and the people can't see it because the walls look good, but all the wood is molding. Because there's people who have these brand new houses where water damage is starting to show down in the bottoms of their wallboard because the moisture inside the walls. And so it's crazy because people think like, well, you go buy a brand new one, but the brand new ones can be more toxic, and they're so bad put together. Oh my God. There's this TikTok guy that I follow, I guess. I don't know. I see his videos sometimes, and he's an inspector, and he goes and he shows some of the shoddy work, man. There is some shit. Like going and buying a new house and putting all that money, these giant ass loans to get these houses and all the money you have to put down and stuff, then they're not worth it. They're not made well. They're total shit. And so it's really going to be kind of a release for these people, even though they're not going to realize it. They're going to be like feeling, sad or mad. Like there's going to be all sorts of emotions as things keep going. But it's important to just keep letting go of things because better is coming. And the more you let go of, then the more you open up for more to come. So if you're holding on to everything and sitting back and crying and trying to grip it, you don't want to lose this, you don't want to lose that. You just got to let go. The universe is making moves. They are taking things away, and you got to find peace. And know, this is where you learn how to trust the universe. Know better is coming. The more, I'm telling you, the more you let go of, the more energy that you put towards the trust, the more you're going to get. It's going to be good. Good things will keep happening. It seemed like there was something that happened again. I feel like, yeah, once you get into this certain vibrations, the little things start, just like the cheesecake and the whole big bag full of cookies and cakes and stuff, which mine are all, well, I've got one more thing of cookies. I just blew through that shit fast. But but anyways, and I also feel like, because I went through all this stuff of like, oh my God, it's poison, I don't want to eat and all that stuff. But then I got into this thing like, yeah, but we're supposed to be enjoying life. We're supposed to be enjoying certain things. And when you bring the joy and you bring the love, and you don't focus on it, like, I don't know, it's kind of like having the awareness, but making the choice. It changes the structure of the lesson. When you are going at it and you don't have any clue what you're doing, then maybe that is where the people get all the cancers and stuff, to show them like, oh, did you know you're eating a bunch of poison? Yeah, because it kind of just all of a sudden saw a flash, because it's going to give you the experience that you're here to get. And so if you are eating really poorly and you don't think about it, then your body has to get sick to show you that you need to restructure your lifestyle. But then so many people just surrender. It's like, no, I'm just gonna, not bother with that. And I'm telling you, lifestyle is the hugest thing that you can do for yourself. Changing your lifestyle to a healthy lifestyle is going to give you the best benefits that you can find out of anything. And that is eating right, sleeping right. And I can't even just say eating right, because I'm somebody who sits there and eats fucking cookies and cakes all goddamn time. My mom was like, yesterday I was upstairs getting something to eat, and she's like, I swear to God, if I didn't know that you did these cleansing things, I would swear to God you have a tapeworm. She says, I don't understand how you eat like that and stay so thin. And I'm like, I don't know. To me, it is reaching a point of just enjoying life and loving what you love. And then also, though, paying attention. Like if I was just mowing down all the time and my clothes were getting tight, I would make changes. I would pay attention to my body. And just like I used to, when I very first started finding out about all the poisons on our food and stuff, it got me really paranoid. But then you start thinking like, well, we've been eating these a long time. And, it doesn't kill you instantly. And then all the detox stuff helps. Oh yeah, there's another one I saw. Eating onions is it detoxes you. It pulls out, I don't remember all the things. There was some doctors saying the 4 benefits of eating onions, and they were beneficial. So they were all things that you would want to be doing. So, and it all comes from this stuff that grows from the ground, I think. I know people think like, killing animals, they're here for us and stuff like that. But I think in this awakening, it's for us to start realizing, no, we're just overriding. We're just doing the same thing, taking down what's weaker than us. And we're just taking it down. It's like, this isn't the world we want to live. Like, there's shit going on in the shelters. I mean, there's one, the girl who's always pointing out the Harris County videos, because they're in a mad slaughter. Like, they fucking just slaughter. Like, it's insane. But now she's caught them that they are doing surgeries on these dogs and then slaughtering them. And she said, yesterday she did a video, and she said, I think that they are having student vets come in here and practice on these dogs, and then they're killing them. And she said, this isn't right. No, it's not right. Fucking Frankenstein running this motherfucking place is not right. And that's where we got to stand up and say, this isn't right. You cannot practice on us. You can't practice on these animals because they can't stand up for themselves. Like, this has got to stop. Yes, ma'am. Oh, grumbles. Man, last night was rough because I was so out and she kept waking up. And I was like, man, what is worse, when I'm just conked out and getting woke up, or when I can't sleep at all? I don't know. They're both rotten. But man, getting woke up all the time when you're really out is just like kicks your ass, man. ugh. So, anyways, and I don't know what today is going to bring. This week is going to probably be going fast. My granddaughter's not coming after all, so I'm not going to drive her home this weekend because everywhere she wanted to go and stay and visit, everybody has to work, and so she got disappointed. She went home. And so, and then she's like, well, are you coming this weekend? And I'm like, no, I was only coming to drive you. I got to, I've got this big dog sitting thing I got to do, this big animal house sitting thing. And I said, after my mom gets back, I'll come. So towards the end of the month, I'll come and visit, but no, I'm not going to zip over there that was just like 2K. I was only doing it to try and, so she could stay and visit her friends and stuff. So, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to, have my big day tomorrow, go shopping and get stuff and get food, because I'm probably not going to go do much when I'm here with the animals. I think what I'm going to do is one thing I've noticed, and it's so crazy too, because my one daughter who lived with me, she kept telling me the house stinks. And I kept thinking, she's saying, because everything smells mildew, and she kept saying, like, all your clothes, everything smells. And I'm like, I couldn't smell it. And I was like, God, she's so mean. Like, I'm being so offended. Like, it would hurt my feelings. And so now that I've got my clothes out of there and I've left there, now it's like, oh my God, everything smells like a campfire. All my clothes, all my things. Now I get what she's saying. It smells like a goddamn campfire. It smells like it's like, that is so weird. But I think it was, because I did use fire to heat, or wood stove to heat. But I don't think there was good ventilation in that house, which also, with all the mildew and mold, probably gave me mold sickness. But I think that the dioxide stuff, I think that has done something to make that get better somehow. But I think that with the lack of ventilation and stuff just held the smoke, and all my clothes smell like smoke. So I was like, well, I think I'm going to do a project, and I'm going to start I'm going to bring my suitcase, because I have some of my clothes here. I've got a lot of clothes, and I've got a ton still in the storage thing. So I'm not going to go down and get all those and bring them up. But the ones I have here, I think I'm going to get them out and air them out and put them, she's got this new washer and dryer, and one of them has this setting of, like, you can put your clothes in it, and it's like gets the wrinkles out and moistens them and something. I can't remember what it's called. But I was like, I'll do that, and I'll use a wool ball and some essential oils and put it in there and try and spruce out the clothes. Like, oh my God, it is really a nauseating smell. And I had made baby blankets, for her baby. And when I had gone over there, she had them sitting outside. And I was like, why do you have them outside? And she goes, because I got to air them out. I can't even, before I even wash them. The smell is so strong, I can't even have it in the house. It's like, man, I know she has a sensitive nose, but it is strong, and it is bad smelling. Just like, I don't know, if you've ever been camping, and then you come home, and you go to bed, and you wake up and your hair's in your face and it smells like a campfire, your clothes smell like a campfire and stuff, then you know what I'm talking about. It's just kind of a nauseating smell. It's just kind of like, ugh. As soon as you smell it, like if you have ever been camping, as soon as you smell it on you, then it's like, oh my God, I gotta go take a shower. I don't know. It's just not a good smell. So anyways, that's gonna be my project. I'm going to work on trying to freshen up my clothes and just hang out and probably go up and down the stairs a lot, let those dogs out, go mess with those cats. Like, I don't think it's going to be that bad, though. But it's also going to be just me. My mom was showing me, like, where her weapon, what is her weapon? I can't remember. Some weird thing like my weird things. And I said, well, I don't think anybody's going to come out here and mess with me. I'm sure it'll be fine. And she goes, yeah, well, they're out whacking heads off. So, and in England, I guess, this little old lady, she's out gardening, and they just drove by and whacked her head off. And I don't know, on the news, it's saying that in England, people are just getting their heads whacked off. And so, and I've seen a lot of videos where they've been saying it's going into civil war over there. They've got a lot going on over there. And but we all do, all the different places, every place. This is our change. This is our what is that called? Oh, I can see it. Wait, our liberation. This is our liberation as humans, and we're all going through it in different pockets of space and time. And so it is, you know, it's our movement towards what it is we want, where it is we're going. And it's gonna get better. Like, I know those things. I may not know if my brother's gonna live or die. I may not know if the sky is gonna open up, but I know things are coming. I know things are changing. I know we're going to be in a place of Max is up over there now. That he's cleaning his foot. He's got those long limbs. I've been giving him glucosamine because I swear to God, I think he probably has arthritis too with his he's got the longest limbs, his long fingers. So anyways, I've been talking plenty long. I don't even know, you know, I just feel so many times like I just ramble. I'm on repeat ramble. Okay, Stell. So anyways, the hair thing, I definitely say that stuff is working. And so I'm ordering more of that. And it's still on sale on Amazon if you are wanting it. It's on sale for like $31.99 instead of $39.99. I'm hoping it's on sale till tomorrow. And the tooth. Let's see the tooth. And I keep having this green tongue. Like sometimes if you ever see where my tongue looks green when I'm talking, I figured out what it is. It's the seaweed stuff in my tea. It's the spirulina. It's so dense and deep of this green. Like, it's dense. So I think that's what it is. But it doesn't stay green all the time. It's just because I just drank it. But it's very green. And it's full of healthy stuff. And I just saw a thing of somebody talking about moringa, which I've been on moringa for a long time. And they said they could never sleep or all this stuff. And they said moringa changed their life. So if you're having any kind of things, you may want to try the moringa. I've been on moringa for a long time. And I don't know if that's a part of why I can sleep. Because also there's the spraying the magnesium on your feet. And I do that every night. And that supposedly helps your sleep. So when I can sleep, man, I'm out. But you know, that was another positive thing on moringa. Onions and garlic is definitely, ginger is definitely. Oh yeah, onions also help with it, anti-inflammatory. So if you're having a lot of inflammation or pain or whatever, you know, cook up some onions and garlic, some stir fry or something. But let me think, was there something else? I don't know. I don't know. Just that's my morning ramble. That's where we're at. So anyways, don't forget though, because I'm telling you what the main things are. That is the important thing out of all of the bullshit going on. The important things to work on is you. This is what you're here for, is to heal you, to work on you, to become your best version. Not this other place. This other place is falling apart, and something new is coming out of it because, you know, we're creators and we want to experience. So there's a new world coming, but the old one's leaving. And the biggest favor you can do to yourself is heal yourself. And so, and everybody, like, you just see, everybody has no love for themselves. And they're dependent on how you see them, and then they're irritated if you don't see them the way that they want to be seen. And so it's up to you. Start seeing you for the truth. Start seeing you for who you are, and start loving yourself. You don't need everybody else to love you. You just need to learn how to love yourself. So learn how to love yourself. Then you can love everybody. Then figure out how to have a loving day, because it's totally up to you. You can look at this or you can look at that. And it makes a difference of how your day goes. So talk to you tomorrow. Bye.